Here we have the SimNet SP Pro pedals. These pedals here are the most adjustable set of pedals that I've come across. I mean, this brake over here, you can have more than 300 different brake combinations. Bonus, you can use these pedals on your Fanatec base. Just with a normal RJ12 cable, you plug it in the back of your Fanatec base, and guess what? You can play on Xbox, you can play on PlayStation. So if you are looking for the best set of pedals you can have for your console, for GranTurismo, for Forza, 100% it is these. I used to own the Fanatec V3s and the inverted ones at one stage for the longest period, and I can definitely tell you these are the Podium pedals. It is so easy to set everything up. You've got your shakers here in the back that we'll look at in a bit, and yeah, you just go into SimHub, add device, because fully SimHub compatible, and your shakers work. And then also you get this light strip. Now the light strip you have to stick on yourself, and it's a real hard light. You know, it would have been nice if it was a little bit diffused, the lights. But unlike the Acertec pedals where you're actually covering your feet or covering the strips, you can't see any of the telemetry data. On this set, you can see it clear as day. I can see it on the back of the wall. It's on the side of my rig. You know, whether it's green light, yellow flag, car on the left, car on the right, you're in the middle, oh, you're fooked. Like, all of them are working fantastico. Really a great set of pedals. Thank you, SimNet, for sending these my way. I can make a review for you guys, and I'm also planning on using these for my PlayStation rig, so yes! Anyway, $209 is what you'll pay for the throttle and the brake. And then, yeah, this whole ensemble here will set you back about $540 if you add the face plates, the haptics, the heel rest, all those little extras. Yeah, they do add up. Now, SimNet did provide me with a 5% discount code. However, I would highly recommend you go and check your local resellers, because SimNet uses distributors worldwide. And when I actually went on the SimNet website and I added this set of pedals into my shopping cart to see how much, you know, they would cost, the shipping was nearly as much as the pedals. It was like $110. Buy them where you can find them, obviously at the cheapest price. I will link a couple of resellers down below as well, the ones that I am affiliated with. If you use one of them links, it won't cost you anything more. However, I will get sent a small commission, and I thank you very much. It really does help me to improve my life a little bit, and it's very much appreciated. Thank you. I quickly want to discuss the build quality and just the overall appearance of this set of pedals. Now, as for build quality, I think it's fantastic at this price point. Everything is made very well. Everything is put together well. There's no loose spots anywhere. I just want to add that the actual Sim pedal tray is the nicest, thickest pedal tray I've seen at this price point. It is a chunky piece of aluminium, and you don't have to bolt screws at the bottom. You actually just bolt these actual pedals directly into this pedal tray, which is very nice. And then you have this adjustable heel rest here, which is very nice. And yeah, after I stiffened this up really nice, I mean, it is really stiff and it doesn't move, which is fantastic. I actually would have thought when you put a lot of pressure here on the end that yeah, there would be some play in it, but no, it is actually a nice solid setup. Everything put together nicely. As for the appearance, I really do like a black set of pedals. If you've watched, you know, this channel in the past, I always go ooh, when I see anything that is, you know, like this black. I just think it looks fantastic, especially mounted onto my black rig. I think it just blends in so nicely and just looks wonderful, fantastic. I do have to say though that these chunky pedal plates that I've got on here is a very nice to have. It's very nice to use and race with these extra thick plates. However, I actually think the pedals look nicer with the stock pedal faces that comes with these SimNet pedals. These pedal faces here will set you back about $24. And yeah, it is very nice to use, and it feels more comfortable under my feet. So I definitely would say if it's you're considering these set of pedals, pedals. And yeah, if you want to buy yourself the extra chunky, you know, face plates, I can highly recommend them. Overall, I think the pedals presents very well. There's nothing build quality wise. Even the elastomers, I just want to say, has got this little metal bit in it to actually stop the elastomers from over elasting. And that is very nice. You know, that's attention to detail I've not seen with other setup pedals yet. So yeah, build quality, thumbs up. The biggest selling point of these SimNet Pro pedals, besides the fact that maybe you can use them on your PlayStation, not maybe, you can use these on your PlayStation if you have a Fanatec base, is the fact that these are the most adjustable set of pedals that I've come across. I mean, it is astonishing. If I were to show you every single combination that these set of pedals can give to you, we would be here till next week, Tuesday. And today is Tuesday. This brake, for example, you get 27 different combinations straight out of the box with the 3 different elastomer sets that you get. You then can buy for $20, you get the spring set as well. This ups it to 300 different independent pedal feels. So the pedals would just feel different if you put in a different spring or one different elastomer. So really you can make this brake feel exactly the way you would like. I don't think it's possible. I mean, it'll take you forever to go through every single one of them 300 combinations of brake feel. I actually started with the stock setup, which I just found was too light for me out of a box. The pedal was just that little bit too squishy. But you know what? If you like a traditional car, for example, you like your pedal to feel like your road car, then 100% that you can do that, no problem. You can also adjust the travel of the pedal. Here you can see it at its longest travel, and then just move the bar to where you want it. And you'll see now this will be the shortest travel that the pedal offers. This is available on all 3 pedals, this adjustment. You can change the angle of the pedal, just 5 different positions you can pick from. You've got the pedal faces which you can move up and down. Even very nice is you get these little rubber bits that you can stick in there just to cover the empty holes, which is a nice little touch. You get on all 3 of your pedals, you get your preload adjustments. You also then on your brake and your throttle can change the spring arm. You can move it up or down. If you move it down, you have a lighter pedal, and if you move it towards the upwards position, the pedal will be that little bit stiffer. And that is a very nice, quick and fast adjustment you can make. You then get the dampers on all 3 pedals. Now honestly, probably makes the pedal feel a little bit nicer. I myself, when I move these dampers up and down, because they can be adjusted to move up and down, I don't feel any difference. It doesn't feel any different. They say it's supposed to make the pedal again, make it lighter or stiffer. I don't notice any different whatsoever on all 3 pedals if I move the damper up and down. So just mentioning that there. You then get an extra spring set if you choose to buy it for your throttle and your clutch. Honestly, I don't think that is really necessary. I would say just buy the set of pedals first. Feel if you like the throttle as it is. If you feel you then need something stiffer, then go and buy the extra springs. As for the clutch, I think the clutch feels very nice. It is not the best clutch I felt on a set of pedals. That initial bite point feeling where the pedal slacks off, I feel can be emphasized a little bit. So yeah, as for clutch, I mean, I did use it, but to me it just kind of feels like a bit of a stiff throttle. But the brake, I mean, the brake is super accurate. I've got mine set to 100 kilos of force. So I mean, yeah, you can have really strong pedal if you want. And yeah, I like a strong pedal. I just feel like I'm a little bit better at my lower end braking with a stiffer pedal. When I have a pedal that moves too easily, I find it a lot harder to control the brake pedal at the lower ends when the pedal is so floppy. So I prefer a stiffer pedal. And yeah, fantastic. As for the throttle, it is a nice smooth throttle. However, I feel like the damper towards the end of the pedal starts to give a little bit of a chafe. Like it just feels like the last bit, that last 10% of pushing down on the throttle pedal for myself does not feel as smooth as this initial movement over here. Once I get down to around there, yeah, it feels like there's something rubbing, you know, somewhere there's like a metal or something that's rubbing against one another, and then yeah, I can feel that under my foot. Overall pedals, I would say, with adjustments that's available here, there's definitely something here to suit everybody. Let's talk about the shakers on the back. Now these shakers and these motors here, you can buy them in any combination you want. You can have all of them the same. You can have one of each like I have here. You can mix and match them as your heart's desire. This one over here is your normal little spindle, you know, motor. It's just like a little vibrating motor, and yeah, it's the cheapest of the three over here. This one here, I would say, you know, if you're really on a tight budget, get yourself this one, but in my opinion, this is not a little shaker that I would rate, to be honest. This here is your bulky, your big boy. This thing simulates a little earthquake with these little shakers. They are really powerful. These are very, very loud. If you are racing in a room where your partner is maybe sleeping or she's doing something around here, or you have neighbors directly, you know, adjacent to your house, these here 100% they are loud, so keep that in mind. This is another thing. If you were racing with speakers, for example, and you like your speakers a little bit, this sound that these shakers make, you are going to hear it, and it just doesn't sound natural. It doesn't sound like you know, doesn't sound like any car. It sounds more like a tractor breaking down. I personally race with headphones, and yeah, when I actually have my headphones on full blast, it doesn't matter how loud I set these, I don't hear the shaker. I just hear the game volume, which is fantastic. I myself use one for my brake on all my pedals, and yeah, I do love it on my brake. However, I very rarely do I run tactiles on my throttle and on my clutch. I just don't think it gives you as much benefit as what the one on the brake does. So yeah, keep that in mind. Other than that, I mean, you get your control box included, and you can see there's a bunch of wires. Now the way I've got mine mounted, this just hangs behind my rig and you don't actually see it. But yeah, the shakers, everything plugs directly into here, and then your power supply and your USB gets plugged into here to your computer. And then the very nice thing is you can use these in the SimNet software. You can set up these shakers. However, it is very, very basic what you can do with the shakers in that software. These now are SimHub compatible. Ooh, yes, daddy. That's what we want. SimHub compatibility. And these here work fantastico. They really do in SimHub. There is a way of setting them up. I'll show you that here now. Yeah, I want to show you how accurate the brake is. As you can see, I've started at max brake pressure, and I'm just letting my foot down slightly. You don't see any big jumps or anything like that in the curve. It's nice and smooth. The load cell sensor is picking up even the smallest of movement under my foot. And you can see I can easily hold it at 1 or 2 if needed. Here we are in the software, and as you can see, you've got your standard curves. You know, you can have your linear, whatever you want. And you can set this up over here. This is also where you come to calibrate your pedals, and it is very good practice to do so when you get new pedals, because yeah, otherwise you're going to be driving around with uncalibrated pedals, and yeah, what you see in the game will not match what you're doing with your feet. So important, go and calibrate your pedals. As for the haptics, yeah, you can, you know, pick your pedal input, both, whatever. You pick what you want to use, and you can put your strength, the frequencies, you can play around with that. However, I use SimHub. So let's go to SimHub. Go to New Device tab, hit the plus icon. You'll see the SimNet pedals are already connected. Then green light, you'll see you connected. Now here, every single effect for your haptics is active. This is definitely overkill. Switch some of these off. It's definitely a case of less is more. Yeah, I'm switching off my clutch and my throttle because I want the ABS effect just to come out of my brake pedal. Do this for all your other effects, and like I said, less is definitely more. You don't want your pedals vibrating constantly, and you do not know why your pedals are vibrating. These should be telemetry inputs that give you little cues as to what the car is doing, or textures on the road. If the pedals are constantly vibrating, you're never going to feel it. Make sure you match your shaker in the drop down menu to which one you've got connected to your pedal. Easy peasy, done. My conclusion, just to summarize my thoughts about these SimNet Pro pedals. Listen, if you are buying these to use with your Fanatec base and so that you can use them on your PlayStation, I mean, these are the best you can then have for, you know, your PlayStation. For the longest time, I actually had the Fanatec V3 pedals, and I also had the inverted pedals. I had both. I owned both. And do you know what? You can't compare those pedals to these. This is 100% the better set of pedals. So the fact that you can use this on console, these are gonna be on my setup here, my second setup, these are gonna be my PlayStation pedals soon. I'm trying to get my hands on a Fanatec base. Other than that, it is the most adjustable set of pedals. I mean, everything, even the heel rest, you can adjust to make more comfortable for you. It's very nice that you don't have to buy everything at once. Everything here, you can start with $209, just buy the throttle and the brake, and then of course anything you need you can add on later, which is very nice. It doesn't mean you have to spend $540. I think that's what this whole ensemble here will set you back. You don't need to spend that straight away, but you can still end up with this set of pedals. You're not going to be losing out by just purchasing two initial, pedals at the start. I do think this pedal tray here is fantastic. This is the best I've seen. It's a real thick piece of aluminum. I mean, these pedals on here are rock solid. They're not going anywhere. As for the clutch, yeah, I think the clutch could be improved just a little bit. Just the feeling of the clutch where the bite point is, I think could be emphasized a little bit better. This to me feels like an extra stiff throttle. But it does work well. I used it briefly, and yeah, the clutch, I mean, obviously I'm clutching, And then this here, the throttle, very nice. The brake, I mean, the brake, it is so accurate. All the way down to 1% brake pressure. You can really have some fantastic, trail braking, and really, whatever is the problem, it is not the pedals, it is then you. You definitely have a set of pedals here where you can make some major, improvements in your racing. So yeah, 100%. Can I recommend these to you? Yes, full-heartedly I can. It's an absolute phenomenal set of pedals. Anyway, I very much thank you for watching. Please consider subscribing and giving this video a like. Those are free ways that you can help me, and I really do appreciate it. Thank you. I hope your next race is a winner. Hallelujah.